Lilly Singh is a unfunny, unoriginal, joke-stealing, boring hack night show host who has alarmingly thin skin, who clearly watches YouTube videos about her, who clearly is obsessed with what people think of her. If you're curious, I don't like her. But comedy is subjective. And if you're into the white people, am I right kind of jokes, Lilly Singh might be for you. If you're into the superficial, I'm totally brown and bi, so there's that kind of humor, then Lilly Singh might be for you. If you're one of the 7 people who still stay up and watch late night television, then Lilly Singh might be for you. There are people who probably think she's like totally hilarious. I think the reason she's so unfunny is because she cares more about what people's skin color looks like, including her own, than writing good jokes. She herself has admitted, I hire my staff of writers based on the color of their skin. Maybe you should have hired good writers.
And now I have a writer's room, which is fantastic. I just need to humble brag for a second.
Please.
Because I think it's very important. I was very adamant on having an inclusive writer's room. That's very important to me. So it is over 50% women and over 50% people of color.
That's awesome.
And I was very adamant on that.
Look, I think representation is a noble goal, but it is an impossible one. It is one led by a fallacy that 2 candidates for a same job have exactly the same qualifications, and the only difference is, in fact, their skin color. In a vacuum or on Twitter, this is possible. But in reality, it is not possible. You will never find 2 perfect candidates for a job where the only differentiating factor is their skin color. If you think you found that person, you haven't asked enough questions.
Our writers' room look like a mini United Nations. More than 50% women and people are all races.
See, this is what happens when you live your life for likes and retweets. You write jokes for applause, not laughs. And I think that is, of course, the root of why Lilly Singh and so much of this woke comedy is so painfully unfunny. Anybody can go up on stage and say, Orange Man bad, to a thunderous applause of a pre-selected group of people, like any YouTuber can as they curate their own audiences. But when you have to go on a late night show host or a late night show and you have to talk to the salt of the earth, because let's be honest, millennials are not watching late night shows. Boomers are probably all you've got. Long after they've fallen asleep, the TV's still on. That makes a bulk of your late night show audience. That's why you're just pandering and you're not writing jokes. And that's why it's so unfunny. And when you obsess over the skin color or people's identity or other factors that have nothing to do with whether or not they're funny, maybe you hire a few joke stealers too.
I had a boyfriend once who was constantly on his phone, just swiping and swiping and swiping. And I was like, oh, interesting. So you do know how to use your fingers.
And I've been doing comedy for a few years now. I will say that it has definitely changed who I am, willing to have sex with. Because for years I was sleeping with hot dudes, and now I sleep with comedians. So it's just different. I definitely don't recommend sleeping with a comedian unless after sex you enjoy lying next to someone, watching them scroll through their own tweets. Because that's happened to me with more than one person. They're just like scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. And I'm like, oh, your index finger does work.
And look, late night shows are dying. There's only so much Orange Man bad people are willing to listen to. It's the same tired jokes all the time. You've got Jimmy Fallon's incessant fake laughs. You've got Kimmel's ridiculous pandering and Colbert's awkward orange man TDS-filled rants. And then you've got Lilly Singh, which is just more woke comedy. None of these comedians rely on jokes anymore. You could argue that Fallon has some good bits. That's probably the best part of his show, and he seems to genuinely like and get along with his guests, but the rest is just trash. You may notice I'm not mentioning Conan O'Brien. That's because he's still the best. He always was the best, and he will continue to be the best. As he languishes away on cable as opposed to standard late night television, Conan O'Brien continues to choose to make people laugh instead of pander for applause, likes, and retweets. If it weren't for YouTube thrusting all these clips of all these boring, unfunny late night shows down their viewers' throats, nobody would be watching. Now you might be asking, what kind of people even watch late night TV? Well, as of the first week in October, late night numbers fall to start a season. Now that's everybody. And I think more and more people are tuning out. And the problem is, what Hollywood is going to do is double down on wokeness. That's why you get Lilly Singh. Now, Lilly Singh shows up to late night with 12 million plus subscribers on YouTube. Okay, 12 million 10-year-olds who think her wacky, loud, spastic movement is good entertainment, and 12-year-olds who still laugh at butt jokes. Now, I'm going to say that a good butt joke will still make me laugh, and farts will always be funny, but that's pretty much who her audience is. Like 13-year-old boys and girls who think their family-friendly, edgy comedy is somehow original. And when you look at what's happening with late night in and of itself, it's floundering because people don't care as much now as they used to for celebrities. People are waking up to this celebrity worship and moving on. They're finding out that people that they thought were one way, now thanks to social media, they're some of the worst humans on the planet. You have a lot of Hollywood actors and actresses who turn out to be human garbage. We didn't know about that 5 years ago. Now we find out about it because Hollywood used to be able to keep a lid on it. But they double down. And when we look at ratings in and of itself, it's down. So this isn't exactly Lily's fault, okay? But we look at what is the actual viewership. A Little Late with Lilly Singh is averaging 666, coincidence? 666,000 viewers. That's it. 600,000 viewers. Her average YouTube video views were in the millions. So if you're NBC, aren't you at least a little bit curious why she brought zero of her audience? Maybe it's because her audience just watch the content like the drones they are, and they have no interest at all in staying up a little late to watch Lily's unfunny jokes. Now, she does hit her stride in some of the interviews. The show isn't completely awful. It's only mostly awful. If she would get off the look at me, please, God, like what I have to say, she might be able to squeeze out a joke every now and again. But if it weren't for that, I could forgive all of that. But Lilly Singh, the person that is constantly tweeting about how great she is, just look through her Twitter account. Look at my pumpkin. I'm so good. Oh, my eyelids are doing this. Oh, I'm Miss India, GQ India. You know, it's constantly, please thank me. Here's Vogue. Here, I'm on the cover of Vogue India. Like everything she tweets out, all of her jokes are just please like me's. And if you listen to even her original song, okay, her original song on the show, it's all stuff that you would just say on Twitter and a lot of people would retweet. If you listen to her rap song in the beginning, our first episode, she says stuff like, my body, my choice. Yeah, okay. That's not a joke. That's just something you say on Twitter to get retweets. Which brings me to probably Lily's most crippling, obvious flaw, and that is her desperate need to be liked by her followers. Just a quick scroll through her Twitter feed is constant virtue signaling and basically posts of, make me feel good about myself, everyone. Look, I'm Miss India. Thanks a million. I'm Woman of the Year. This is somebody who is a multi-millionaire getting handed everything in life and still pretending to be a victim, and everyone can see through it. It's hard to feel bad for somebody who's got 10 million bucks in the bank, a late night show, 12 million subscribers on YouTube, Woman of the Year in India, and then she gets up on stage and talks about being oppressed by a thermostat. It just isn't funny. It isn't believable. And then last week, when I really took interest, was when Lilly let her true self be known. She abandoned YouTube for the most part, other than low-effort vlogs, but she's mad that YouTube doesn't like her new late-night show. She posts, imagine making a living by posting mean videos to YouTube. The downward spiral, the bad energy, the karma, the entitlement, the lack of creativity. Now, that's coming from somebody who steals jokes. I mean, I don't want to, and she's bringing a lot of that earth-shatteringly creative white dudes, am I right jokes to late night. So I suppose she's a fountain of creativity. The waste of potential. Young kids, don't follow this example. It's not good for the soul or the longevity of your career. I disagree. In fact, you could ask really any major actual comedian. Look, Lily's not a comedian. Her writers are substandard because she hired them not based on the fact that they're funny or not, but based on factors that don't make someone funny. She is paper thin, ego-wise, getting roasted by Crip Daddy and Ricky Berwick. And you just know. And you see Mary Beth Barone in here, Lamau, the one who she stole the joke from. You can look at, she probably Googles herself, and you can see, if I Google her name, you see both channels, and then you say Jay Aubrey's awesome video roasting her. You see Angelica roasting her. You see Luke Alexander roasting her. You see I Never roasting her. You see I'm Alex roasting her. You don't even see a single video from Lilly Singh. You just see YouTubers dunking on her. And that, bothers her because she had to take to Twitter, and then she did this cringe, in just one of the worst cringe sketches I've ever seen in my life, where she dances awkwardly as an auto voice reads out comments that she perceives to be hate comments. And then they clip to the audience the second they turn on the applause sign. It is so transparent. You dance the hate comments. It's only funny if you don't care. But based on your Twitter feed, based on how you react to criticism, based on your personality, we know that you deeply care, which again makes this sketch painfully unfunny. I wish you all the best in life, Lilly Singh. You don't need my good wishes. You're going to have everything handed to you in life from here on out because that's the way Hollywood works. But I don't feel bad for you. You go to bed on a pile of money every night. Just, maybe try to actually make a joke. Try to hire good writers. Try to put on a good show and take advantage of an opportunity that only a handful of people have ever gotten in the world. Most of them had to earn it, and none of them were hired simply because of their skin color, like clearly you were. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.